Oh, myself. Real quick, okay.
Over second and third cups flow matters of high finance, high state, common gossip, and low comedy. Coffee is a social binder, a warmer of tongues, a sober of minds, a stimulant of wit, a fuller of sleep, if you want it so. From roadside mugs to the classic demi-tasse, it is a Democrat. Millions of Americans begin each morning by consuming the most widely used drug in the United States, caffeine. So what is caffeine? Most of us know it's in coffee, tea, sodas, chocolate, and even energy drinks. Today I will discuss the history of caffeine and some of the positive effects it can have on the human body. The word caffeine originated from the French word café and the German word caffeine. Both of these translate to coffee. It is a naturally occurring stimulant made from 60 different plants. In its pure form, it is a white powder that tastes very bitter, and it can be produced synthetically also. There are many stories and legends dating back to 850 AD in what is now known as Ethiopia. In the early days, coffee beans and leaves were actually chewed. Later on, they even started to boil the coffee beans, but it wasn't until 900 AD when they started to make a brewed form. We have found coffee to be a stimulant of the central nervous system. It can be used recreationally or medically. It helps reduce drowsiness and physical fatigue while restoring mental alertness. Once inside the body, the caffeine becomes a complex chemical acting through several mechanisms. For those who want to know, consumption of caffeine does not eliminate the need to sleep, but does hold off the need for just a little bit. Did you know there is a such thing as coffee intoxication? I didn't know. I thought that was surprising. It is an acute overdose of caffeine that can result in the central nervous system and an overstimulation. Some of these symptoms include restlessness, nervousness, excitement, increase in urination, and irregular heartbeat. But don't get too carried away with the caffeine consumption. You need to watch how much you consume so that it can prevent damage to our bodies, but it will also have some positive effects. After you take the first sip of caffeine, like this, it releases a chemical called dopamine. This stimulates the area in your brain responsible for alertness, problem solving, and even pleasure. Coffee also can improve different aspects of brain function like memory, mood, energy levels, and reaction times. Next, caffeine can help you burn fat and improve athletic performance. It helps athletes train harder and longer. It stimulates the brain for clear thinking and greater concentration, as well as stimulating the release of stored fats so that the muscles can burn that fat and use it for energy. We are in the healthcare field, so we know that type 2 diabetes has increased dramatically in the last few decades. Well, guess what? Coffee can actually help reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes. If caffeine is consumed correctly, it can also be associated with lower risk of death, disease, and certain types of cancer. Now that you have learned a little bit about the history of caffeine and that it's been around for thousands of years and that it can have some positive benefits on your body, also know that it can have many more benefits, but only if consumed correctly. So, ask yourself, are you one of the many Americans who wakes up every morning and uses the widely most used drug in America? Caffeine.
I'm one of them. Is that right?